Hey, what's up YouTube? It's 2018. I can't believe that we've got here already. It only seems like 2 minutes ago that I was making the 2016 version of this video, but here we are. Let's forget 2018 just for this moment. The year's barely began anyway, nothing's even happened. And let's think about 2017, because I don't think I've ever built such a weird variety of stuff on YouTube. And I just want to take the next 10-15 minutes to have a look back and check out some of my favorite builds that I've made over the past year. And I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy this video and that you'll kind of play along with me and let me know down there in the comments which were your favorite builds that I made over the past year. And by the way, I will be leaving links to every single one of the builds that I do display in this video. I'll leave links to the tutorials in the description below and maybe even the comment section too, if they do indeed have a tutorial, which you'll be able to find out by what I do put in the comments. I'll list every single build and I'll let you know whether it has a tutorial, and if it does have one, I'll provide a link. But without any further ado, let me start off this top 10. Number 10. I've already kind of broke my own rules here. As always, I just can't really pick one. At number 10, we have a three-way split, but I have a good reason for this. So, at number 10, we have conjoined Ricegum's house, which we are looking at right now, Jake Paul's old house, which I'll flash on the screen, and Jake Paul's new house, which you'll be looking at right now. I cannot decide which one of these I want to choose for my top 10 spot, but the thing is, the reason that I like these houses so much is because after I built Jake Paul's old house, after receiving numerous requests, it really did open up what I was willing to make on YouTube, and I started to have a lot more fun building all sorts of weird stuff that I wouldn't have built previously. So beforehand, I wouldn't have really thought about making somebody's house in Minecraft. I thought it might be a bit weird. I wasn't really that keen on building that many cartoon-related builds, and I wouldn't really build some of the wacky stuff that I do today. So, at number 10, we have Ricegum's house, we have Jake Paul's house, and we have Jake Paul's new house, slash the Team 10 houses, of course. And that is number 10, ladies and gentlemen, a three-way split. I've already made this complicated. At number 9, we have something that you might not have been expecting. My modern townhouse. This is one of my favorite Minecraft houses that I have ever made because it serves quite a few purposes. Number 1, I think it's a really cool house. It's modern, it's even sort of like traditional in design in the fact that it's really just a nice big triangle. It's colourful and it can be repeated to enhance a Minecraft world. You could easily slap this in any Minecraft world, and whether you made it blue, yellow, red, whether you made just one of them or 20 of them, whether you put it in a suburbs or a town or a city, I think that it fits in very well. I love the design, it's easy to make, it's nice and colourful, it's very easily adaptable, and that is why I've put this in number 9. I really love this townhouse, and I hope that you guys do as well. At number 8, I've already made this weird, haven't I? I couldn't help myself. At number 8, we have one of my favorite houses of all time, my TV house. Yeah, so basically the concept of this thing is I've taken an old-fashioned tube TV, one of those that you could absolutely not hang on a wall. One of those that has like the bunny ears on top for reception that you had to wiggle around so that you could actually watch like Saturday morning cartoons, and I have turned it into a house. From the outside, it looks as though that we have a nice cartoon scene playing on the TV. But if we were to climb up one of the legs of the TV and actually access the inside, you would find that we actually are able to walk around what's on TV, which is another reason that I like this thing, because it's incredibly customizable. You could make the inside of this whatever you wanted to fit whatever you wanted to actually live in / look at from the outside. And there is actually supposed to be like a villager and some animals, but I can't find them. I hope they're okay. But one of the many reasons that I like this house is because it's next level sneaky. Not only do we have a TV, you can get inside the TV, there's a house in the TV, but if you actually walk in the house, then we have a hidden house inside the house that's in the TV. That is next level sneakiness, ladies and gentlemen. You don't get much more sneaky than that. And that is why I have placed this build at number 8. At number 7, we have my medium-sized survival base. I've made quite a few survival bases throughout the year. I've made some small survival bases, I've made some water bases, some nether bases. I've made all sorts. But for whatever reason, this one really just strike a chord with me, and I really like this. So inside this survival base, which is quite easy to build by the way, we have nice protective walls, we have plenty of light, we have a fishing spot, we have a nether portal, we have an enchantment area, we have a house including a farm, we have a stable area, we even have a mining area which leads to a mine shaft. We've got all sorts of stuff in this base, ladies and gentlemen. It's really easy to build, it looks great, and for whatever reason, I just feel as though that this is one of the nicer bases that I've built, and I just really like how it looks and comes together, and how natural and sort of even kind of medieval it looks, like fitted in around your typical Minecraft world. And that is why I've decided to give this my number 7 spot. At number 6, we have a house that you probably haven't seen before because not that many people watch the video, but that doesn't stop me loving it all the same. We have my modern eco mansion. It's very simple. We've taken a modern house and we've given it a bit of natural life. We have hedges, we have plants, we have flowers, we have trees. We have all of the things that you might see in sort of like a country home added to a modern house, and I really like how everything blends together. We have a pool, we have terraces, we have flower bed after flower bed, we have balconies, and we have sitting areas absolutely everywhere. It's probably one of the most functional modern houses that I've ever made, and I just really like how it looks, and I really like how it turned out. You probably wasn't thinking about this or expecting this on the list at all, but I absolutely love this house, and I really do like it. But this is my modern eco mansion, and it gets number 6 on my top 10 list. At number 5, we have a split decision. Alright, I can't choose which I like out of these two, so both of them are number 5. My list, my rules. So they're both in a similar vein anyway, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. At number 1, we have my underground bunker. It's actually kind of weird looking at it like this, because of course it's supposed to be hidden underground, and you're not supposed to be able to see it all exposed, but I had to build it like this so that I could make a thumbnail out of it. The way that you would enter it is just about with any other bunker. You would start off on the overworld and you would climb down a ladder that was either hidden or not, and you would be greeted with a nice spacious entrance. We have an enchantment library. We even have a little beacon that's more for the decoration than anything else. In the library you can have a look at some of the other rooms. It's nice and exposed. If we walk back on ourselves, then we have access to the bedroom, which has plenty of crafting stuff. We even have some chests as well, and the best thing about this bunker is that it can be made and adapted in such a way that it can either be made as big or as small or as fancy or as simple as you could possibly like it. And that is number 1 of my number 2 choices. Let me show you what the other choice is. The other half of number 5 is my underground treehouse bunker. So you can see how these are kind of similar. The idea is very simple. Imagine that this entire lower half, like where the dirt starts, is underground and you can't see it. And of course the tree isn't split open either. So you would, on the overworld, climb up into the actual top of the tree. You'd go up this ladder and you'd climb up into the top of the tree like this. You have your chest, you have your crafting table, you have your furnaces, all this sort of stuff, you know, normal sort of stuff. But if you wanted to, you could then climb down the trunk of the tree, which is of course hidden, nobody knows about it from the outside, into the underground part of your treehouse, which is of course this nice safe bunker which nobody's gonna find unless you tell them about it, and you can keep your valuables and you can keep yourself nice and hidden down there. I love the idea so much, and I'm hoping that you guys do as well. I really love this house. I could not choose between this and the actual underground bunker itself, so both of them get the number 5 spot from me. At number 4, we have a bit of a weird one as well. So this is my creative cube house. Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, but there is a good reason for this. Minecraft actually sell a book called, it's something like Creative Guide to Minecraft. I'll put it up on the screen now, and I got the inspiration to make this by copying the front cover, and I really like how it turned out. I think it looks really, really cool, and I don't know, it's just so different from what you're used to seeing, but it's also so simple, if that makes sense. Like, it's different and it's simple and it's interesting to look at, and it was also quite fun to actually work from like a picture and to try and make it as accurate and as cool as possible. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, this house, it just kind of like strikes a chord with me, and I hope that you guys like it as well. So in the number 4 spot, something you might not have expected, my creative cube house. At number 3, we have another weird house. I'm sorry guys, some of my favorite houses are some of the weirdest houses that I have ever made, but I regret nothing. I promise the next one will be normal, but this one is so much fun. This is my roller coaster water slide house. Do I even need to explain why I like this? Okay, the concept is simple. The way that you get up to the top of the house is in the roller coaster. You hop in the minecart and you hit the button and it takes you all the way up to the top inside the house. This particular house isn't actually furnished because this is the tutorial version, but this is a nice big house. It even has a second floor up there, as you can see. But the way that you get down from the house is down the water slide. So not only do you get the fun of a roller coaster, but you also get the fun of the water slide as well. I love this house. I love the concept. I love the design. I like how it looks. It's just so colorful and so fun that I don't know. It's just one of my favorite houses that I've made. A lot of these are. This is why all of these have made it onto the top 10 list. It's even fun to say, like, roller coaster water slide house. If you don't like this, guys, there's no saving you. I'm sorry, but at number 3, we have probably the weirdest house that I've ever made. This is probably number 1. It's got to be the weirdest house that I've ever made. At number 2, we have possibly the cleanest and nicest modern suburban house that I have ever made. And Cinnamon the horse is still alive, ladies and gentlemen. I actually can't believe that she survived the entire year. Have you just been standing on this balcony the entire year, Cinnamon? Do you have anything to say to the people if they've made it this far? Is there anything else? That's kind of anything else? Well, listen, if you want to tell them to like and subscribe, then you tell them, but I'm not going to tell them. That's really rude. Alright? Anyway, back to the house. This is my modern suburban house. This is probably one of my favorite modern suburban houses that I've ever made. Or possibly one of my favorite modern houses slash suburban houses that I've ever made. The design's just so clean, it's so perfect. I just really like how it looks. It'd fit in a city or a town or anywhere that you wanted to put it. It really would. It wouldn't look out of place anywhere. And I love the blend of like just a nice suburban style, like the main majority of the house is like just really suburban, but it's just got those modern touches that really make it just kind of like take it up to the next level, make it all nice and cool. And the inside is such that you can really divide it into something like really interesting. Like you could make sort of like a wacky interior design like this, or you could divide it up into rooms. And the back's kind of cool as well. Like at the back you've got like you've got a very similar feel where you do at the front, where you've got like the very standard suburban design mixed in with the modern. I really do like this house quite a lot, and I'm really surprised that Cinnamon herself did actually survive pretty much an entire year. I made the tutorial for this like back in January of 2017, I do believe. So I'm surprised that she's still hanging there on that ledge. But ladies and gentlemen, this is my number 2 spot out of my top 10. I really do enjoy this house in particular, and I hope that you guys do as well. Goodbye, Cinnamon. See you in another year. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, before we hit the number 1 spot of my favourite build that I made in 2017, I just want to share 5 builds that I wish that I could have included in this list. And there were so many more. I made so much stuff that I really liked over the past year, but I couldn't include it. But here are 5 that I do wish that I could have added in some way to the list, other than this little bit, of course. So the first honourable mention that I have is my Tetris house. I recently built this on the channel. I'm sure that you might have caught a glimpse of this in your sub box. This is the legendary old school game Tetris, reimagined as a house. If you look through the windows, you'll be able to see that each one of the individual cubes of the house are indeed themselves individual rooms inside of the house. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my Tetris house. For my second honourable mention, I have to include my parkour course. This is my Wipeout inspired parkour course. It's a really simple design, it's iconic, it looks great, and it's a fun parkour course. If you're terrible like I am at parkour, I bet that you guys could do it. If I can do parkour, you guys can do this particular course as well. Really fun to build, really fun to mess about with, and I'm sure it's really fun to enjoy with your friends. As my third honourable mention, we actually have something that you wouldn't have actually seen on the channel unless you saw it in the background of one of my other tutorials. This is my giant multi-level treehouse. This is supposed to cover like 4 or 5 people living here. It's actually kind of huge. You might not be able to tell, but it's an awesome build in idea. Like the bottom inside, we have a nether portal, but if you look through the nether portal, you actually have like a hidden part of the base, which you can access through the trunk of the tree. We have plenty of levels. As you go up the base, you have nice big houses that you can use for multiple purposes, whether farming, whether enchanting, whether just storage houses. And as you get to the top of the treehouse, when you eventually do get to the very tippity top, you can see that inside the top of the house is just a massive amount of room. Like, it's a really interesting idea for a treehouse, and I'd love to build something like this on the channel, but not this. There's just something about it that never seemed right, so I never wanted to put it on the channel. But it's really cool, and this is my third honourable mention, despite the fact that I never actually made a tutorial for it. For my fourth honourable mention, we have my 3-player survival cave. Now, I might be naive, but I thought this was an awesome idea for a house. What we basically have is like 3 linked up hobbit holes. Each of them are the same, except they're made out of different materials, so that you would be able to distinguish whose hobbit hole was which. You even have, like, you have your own customized exterior, you have a nether portal, you have a farm on top of your house, you even have drop-in boxes for each one of the 3 caves, and if you go inside the caves, like, they're laid out, all of them are laid out exactly like this. The interiors are all the same, except they're made out of their respective woods, and I thought that it was really well designed, although barely anybody actually liked this this particular build. I really enjoy it though. I think that it's really awesome design. Each one of the 3 caves are the same. They all link up together, and they all have access to the nether portal, to the roofs, and of course the gardens and stuff outside as well. So my 4th honorable mention has to go to my 3-player survival caves. I love this thing to death, despite the fact that nobody else did. And as my final honorable mention, it has to go to the Batcave that I've been working on. You guys won't see the tutorial for this for a little while, but this is a Batman-inspired Batcave. It's lacking a little bit of stuff that you would see like out of like the film and what have you, but it's definitely awesome. It's really cool. Like, it's a simple version of the cave, but I think that absolutely captures the spirit and the mood of the Batcave itself completely. And you guys might see a tutorial of this somewhere in the future. It's a really cool design, and I just like how it looks. It's so huge and ominous. I really like this. But this is my final honorable mention before we get on to my favorite build of 2017. At the number 1 spot, you might have guessed it. It's been a long time coming. We have Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse. I couldn't help but put this at number 1 for a few reasons. Number 1, it looks awesome. It's an insane build. It looks incredible. It's incredibly iconic. Who doesn't know Mickey Mouse? I myself, I enjoyed Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse growing up. I really love how this build looks. I think that I really did capture it very well. It looks insane. It looks awesome. But on top of that, before I started building this, like before I actually released this video on the channel, like I was going through a period where I was building stuff and I wasn't enjoying everything that I built, and not a lot of stuff was getting like incredible amount of views, and you know, I was just a little bit down with the channel, and I wasn't feeling that great about it. But this build got so big and got so popular so fast, it really invigorated my love of building stuff in Minecraft and my love of YouTube, and it really did help push through, and it helped me want to make and design loads of stuff that you guys wanted to see. Like, it really sparked everything that you can see in the background around us. I bet that you guys can see no end of cartoon related houses, and really the reason that I made oh so many of them, the reason that I continue to make them and listen to your guys' requests, is because of Mickey Mouse. So remember that the next time I make a cartoon related build, it's all because of Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse. And that concludes my number 1 favorite build of the year 2017. It's been an insane year. I've built so much stuff. I've built such a weird variety of stuff. I honestly forgot about a lot of stuff that I built. I've went through everything that I built in 2017, and I did pick out all of my favorites. I'm really interested to see whether you guys expected Mickey Mouse to be number 1, or whether you had something else in mind. If you enjoyed this video, please do remember to leave a like, leave a comment, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't visited this channel before. Click the little bell next to the subscription button. That always helps me out, but a like and a comment would be incredible. I'd love to see what you guys thought of this video and what you thought of the number 1 spot in particular. If you want to make anything that you have seen in this video, not the stuff that you can see in the background, but the actual videos and the actual builds that I have highlighted, you can find those in the comment section and the description below. I'll probably leave it in the description as well as the comment section. You'll be able to find each build listed in order with the actual video that will show you how to make the build if you wanted to do such a thing. But I think that this is a good place to stop as well, in particular with what's on the screen. Thank you so much for an incredible year, 2017 was insane, and I'm hoping that 2018 is at least as good as 2017, and I wish you all a happy new year. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a great day, have a great year, and I'll see you in the next video.